Man, first of all, really proud of our defense, the way they played tonight. Gave us the opportunity to win the game, at the end. And, we had a chance, a couple of plays, and just didn't get it done. Really proud of Barron coming in with Tyler getting hurt. Hated for Tyler, man. He just, kid can't catch a break. But there's a couple of stats when you look at the stat line that I'm sure y'all have looked at, that really stand out. One, on third down, we've got to get a lot better of what we're doing on third down, converting. I think we're 2 of 18. Really proud of our special teams. I thought, we had some big plays with Dre McCray in the return game. Thought McNamara did a great job tonight. He was averaging 49 yards a punt, 54 of a long, and just frustrated. We're sitting here, and last year we were in some of these games and found a way to win them. Right now we're not finding ways to win these close games, and we've got to. Hats off to West Virginia. I thought they played a really good game. With that, I'll open up with questions.
Joey, what's the preliminary, what do you know on Tyler's injury?
His ankle. I haven't talked to Mike about it. Once he said he wasn't coming back, didn't get anything at halftime on it. So I know it was around his lower leg, ankle. And, and he said immediately he wasn't going to come back. So we'll just have to see whenever we get out of here.
Did he hurt it on the play that he went out, or because it looked like he also hurt it on the play before?
Yeah, he was limping on it looked like he was limping on the play before. I couldn't see exactly, if somebody stepped on him, and his foot was hurting. And then, the play that he got hurt on, I couldn't see exactly, what happened.
Are you under the impression that this is another long-term injury and that this is going to be Barron's job for several weeks? Don't know for sure, but one thing that always worries you whenever they come bring the card out, and they brought the air cast out just to make sure everything was stable, but you always worry about that, and especially with quarterback and ankles, it usually takes a couple of weeks to get back if he can get back.
What do you assess of Barron? A slow second quarter, but when you're kind of thrown into that situation and it's raining, it could be that way, but you got to come out strong, especially there in that second half.
I thought he did some really good things. We just as a whole offensively, and our ones and twos get the exact same amount of reps, the same amount of plays. So I didn't think that, that had anything to do with it other than, have to go back. I think we had some drops, that has happened, that in close games, those things show up. So we've got to do a better job with that. And, I gave up 2 sacks tonight. He got hit twice. That early in the second half, that happened. I think that, early in the first half, that second quarter, that kind of slowed us down. Anytime you get any kind of negative plays, that's always going to bog you down. Frustrating too, things like we caused 2 turnovers, and I think we got 3 points out of the 2 turnovers, and so that always it's frustrating whenever you get to cause those turnovers and don't get anything out of it.
Of those turnovers, though, how huge is it right now for Malik? 3 interceptions in 2 games.
Yeah, he's playing really well, and it goes back to the way he's practicing. He's practicing extremely well, and so I think that's showing up in games. And it was good to see Ben Roberts. I think he got the second pick. I thought we caused a turnover right there on the kickoff return also that showed on replay for some reason that it was not, a fumble, which I don't see on the view that we had from the field. Everybody was saying that the ball was out. Cam Watts, comes over with the football, and so I guess they saw something that we did not see.
Coach, 9 penalties, 96 yards tonight. A lot of those from the secondary on defense on third down.
How many third downs penalties were on third down?
I'm not sure.
There were four on third down that were converted by penalties. And, you know, and when that happens, you know, for me, you definitely hope that they are right. Right? You know, 9 for 96 and 3 for 20. So I guess we were playing a different game, especially on third down. And so you hope, and that's what I expressed, you hope that you were 100% right in critical situations, if that's going to happen. And you're going to go through the game, and there's going to be critical situations that the same thing could be called, and there are no calls. And so we'll look at that tomorrow and do like we normally do and ask questions and try to get better with the explanations that they give us. But that's first frustrating. You know, if you go back, because, you know, talking about those penalties, like we've talked about them before, Wyoming, I think they scored 17 points or 14 points. You know, 2 of those touchdowns were converted off of penalties. The last drive, and you know, it was a face mask. I mean, we missed a sack. You know, and Tony Bradford, even when you watch that play, he's getting kind of knocked back and he's just trying to grab, and he ends up grabbing the face mask. But we missed a sack, you know, and so that's one that, you know, it's a no-brainer. I mean, you see those and you live with it, but third down, 4 converted. So you hope they're right.
Why hold on to your timeouts as late as you did going into that final drive? Because I think you took your first timeout with, I think, 1.5 minutes left. Why hold on to them as long as you did?
From the standpoint that none of it caused to slow the clock down. We had plenty of time. You know, college football is totally different than any other. Well, really, I mean, like 1 minute is a 2-minute drive in college football versus the NFL, because you're gonna, number one, once you go into those 2 minutes, the clock stops with a first down, so you're gonna get it there, and so you don't have to really panic. It's one thing that we do that I think we do really well is put ourselves in good situations to use the timeouts whenever we need to. You know, we got the one where we wanted to make sure we got the right first down call. Taj did a good job bouncing the ball, getting the first down, and, you know, give us an opportunity to throw the ball in the end zone those last 4 plays.
Joey, Taj has now rushed for around 150 yards 2 Saturdays in a row. Is this offense going to have to be more Taj-centric with the kind of inconsistency maybe in the passing game, or what at this point do you see that you can build an offense around and be confident about?
Well, I feel really confident about Taj. You know, I think he's doing a great job. He had 25 carries for 150 yards. That's what they have down here. Had a long of 27, averaged 6 yards a carry. You know, I think that there's some runs that we feel very comfortable with. You saw them tonight. Our offensive line does a good job blocking. Tight ends do a good job blocking. But again, you know, the one thing that I think our quarterbacks are doing, they're doing a good job of getting us in good run plays. You know, you go back, a lot of those plays that we're getting into, you're seeing the quarterbacks check into it because they're giving it to us. The one thing that, you know, we talked about, and I talked with Kitley about, was, you know, trying to settle the game down a little bit because we were inconsistent. If you go back to the third downs, we were playing a lot of 3rd and, you know, 7, 8, 9. So those, you know, we were trying to get into better 2nd, 3rd downs, and Taj is helping us do that. He definitely helped us do that, you know, in the last few series, you know, getting back into the game.
How do you evaluate what where your receivers are right now, given that it seems like you got some drops at some pretty key moments?
Yeah, you know, you go back and look at it, see exactly what it is, where the ball placement is. You know, if the ball's low and they're having to go down, you know, I thought that Coy Aiken caught the ball on a big, I don't know, it was second or third down. You know, they reviewed it without going to the box, which I like. I don't like, you know, the guy going over there and standing in front of the box when you got other people that can look at it and are seeing the same thing he is. But, you know, they said that wasn't a catch. I thought that was a catch. You know, and so some of the drops, you got to see ball placement, and then some of the drops are, you know, just concentration in critical times.
Seemed like, I guess your best opportunity in that 4-down situation there at the end was obviously the pass to,
York, yeah. Came free. You know, I think he makes that catch 9 out of 10 times. You know, we had him in there, and he's done a good job. Baylor had banged up his shoulder. He would have come back in if we would have gone to overtime. He had gotten cleared right before that, and you know, probably a little bit bigger target, but that was a great call. You know, he came wide open, and you know, we just got to put it on him, and he's got to catch it.
Going back to Tyler for a moment, I forget, when you were at Wyoming and somebody got hurt, you said you'd have a better chance to know, well, the extent of an injury if you were at home.
Yeah.
Were you able to fully evaluate Tyler? Were you able to get extra?
Yeah, I'm sure they did. I really, whenever, you know, Mike, he said he's not coming back, and that, you know, we didn't talk about it past that. From the standpoint of, you know, once Mike told me, they carted him in, he told me on the sideline, hey, Tyler's down, he's not coming back. I didn't ask anything more than that because we had to, you know, get Barron ready, and if something happened with Barron, make sure that Jake was ready to go.
It would have been x-rayed by now, though.
Yeah, I just hadn't got to talk to Mike about it.
Got time for about 2 or 3 more.
Couple other things, personnel real quick. What was Miles Price dealing with?
Bone bruise on his knee. You know, felt like we could get some stuff out of him, but didn't know how many plays we could get out of him.
And Tyler Owens, did he aggravate the quad again, or have a different injury?
It's kind of a mixture of hip. We couldn't get it loosened back up. Kind of the same way with Quincy Ledette. I was proud of Trey McAlpin and Wooten. You know, Quincy went down, I think, late in the first maybe, you know, with shoulder, and he's going to be fine. We just couldn't get him loosened back up to where we could bring him back in the game.
And Barron, you said a moment ago, 1s and 2s got equal reps.
Yeah.
Had Barron had equal reps with the
Not with the ones.
Not
No,
with the ones,
no.
okay.
No.
Anything else?
Well, just Barron's overall performance. Sorry, I missed it. If it was asked.
No, I thought, you know, it's kind of a mixture right there of, I think if you look as a whole, pressure, getting hit at times, getting the ball out on time, and then some drops. So I think it was a mixture as a whole, just all of us.
Coach, when Tyler Shuck got hurt, you gave him a hug. What did you say to him in that moment?
Yeah, man, he, you know, the thing with Tyler, and he was hurting, and so he literally is like, I cannot catch a break. I cannot catch a break. I cannot catch a break. And, you know, you feel for a guy that works as hard as he does. You know, I really would like to see a college football player. I would challenge any college football player that Tyler puts as much time in this game as anybody in the country. And so whenever you see a guy like that that's put that much time and has this frustration that he has and the setbacks, I just, you know, gave him a kiss on the forehead and told him I loved him and said, hang in there, we'll see what it is. You know, just because you don't know at that time, you know, what the timeline is.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Watch the players here in just a second.
For a minute there, what happened? How you feeling after the game?
No, I have to really clarify with the trainers. We don't know what it is yet, but obviously I feel hurt because the outcome of the game, but I feel physically, you know, it's kind of like can't really tell, kind of a mixture of emotions about, you know, the outcome of the game and like, you know, how players feel, feeling for Tyler, my quarterback, feeling for my guys in general, you know, for Coach McGuire and everything else, because, you know, we're a tight family, and when you work so hard and you don't get the outcomes that you want or see the outcomes you want right now, kind of is frustrating. But I really don't have an answer for that right now. But yeah.
Another 12 total tackles for you. Pretty big day, and then a pretty big day for the defense as well, especially when the offense isn't clicking as per usual. I guess to start from the defensive perspective on you guys' assessment on how you guys perform.
It's really just forming our identity. You know, Coach DeRuiter talks about, like, you know, when we've got to put the fire out. Any situations, there's a fire out. Doesn't matter what situation it is. We gotta just love to play it and just go out there and play defense and just put the fire out and just play our game. You know, but I feel like as a defense, we made a big step today and a big jump of really just forming our identity and sticking together. Like, we bend but we don't break. But that could be not just for defense, but our whole identity as a team. You know, like not just as a team, but as a fan base, as a unit, as a university. Like, we bend but we don't break. And that's why I feel like our identity is as Texas Tech. Throughout any situation, you know, we're gonna keep fighting through it. But as a defense, I feel like, you know, we made a big jump, but we had to come together as a team and just keep going.
Josiah, you were part of this team last year. Obviously, the last 4 games seemed like everything went right for y'all. You won all 4 of them. First 4 this year.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a story. If you put your finger on one thing, change one thing, what do you think the difference is between how y'all finished last year and how y'all started this year?
I mean, for me, it's really hard to answer that because I'm not, you know, I've really just been focused on what's happening this year because last year is last year. You know, whatever the outcome was with that, it is what it is. What's important is what's happening now with our team right now, this team. And just really, it's just adversity. It's just, you know, can you still hold on to the rope when things are going bad, you know? So I just, really what happened last year, it is what it is with that. It's about just this year. And I have full confidence in our team and full belief in our team, no matter what the outcome is, because we have it's our brand. Like, who we are. Like, we're the toughest, hardest workers, more competitive team in the country. The toughest, it doesn't matter whether it's good or bad, you still got to keep fighting every single day. And I believe that every guy and every staff, every equipment manager, medical staff in our team comes in every single day with that mentality. And right now, obviously, it's not the outcome that we have right now, but I feel like we're still tight as a family and we're still doing what we got to do. And just keep coming the next day and just keep attacking.
Anything else for Josiah before we let him go and bring up Taj? All right, thank you, JP.
Thank you. Taj, obviously another big game for you, back to back. I guess what's working so well right now as of late?
Really just staying consistent within the offense and within Coach Kelly's game plan, and just me being a playmaker and just putting the balls in my hands. So that's really just something about that. Just really just film study and things like that.
Have you really seen an improvement, like within the last 2 weeks, just from the offensive line? It seems like things are really opening up as of late.
Definitely. Those guys, they played their hearts out like I did today. It's just, we just got to clean up little things and then little details here and there, and then we're going to be up and rolling. But those guys played a great game.
Did you have a chance to speak to Tyler at all?
No,
Anyway.
but I'm gonna speak to him as soon as my phone get Wi-Fi. I don't think I got Wi-Fi down here, but I'm gonna speak to him. Sad for him, but it's adversity. We all go through it, so I'm gonna just wish him the best, and that's my guy.
He thinks that to Barron when he came in, be able, just act like.
Just really just next man up mentality. When Tyler went out and Barry went in, it was just next man up. We do this in practice, and just such things that it wasn't really no big surprise, because Barron's gonna get it done.
Taj, you had 19 carries last week, 158 today, 25 for 150 or whatever it was. Given that Tyler's injured now, doesn't look good, how prepared are you to become even more of a focal point for this offense?
Just really just doing my job in that standpoint, and just having fun playing the game that I love since I've been doing since I was little, and just taking more accountable reps, like just watching a little more film with the QBs on what run fronts I think that I can run into, what run fronts there's not a good front to run into, just things like that, just little small details. But really just having that playmaking ability that I have, and just putting the balls in my hand, and anything can happen.
How'd you feel physically after the carries that you got last week? How do you feel physically now in terms of if they give it to you 20 times?
I feel great. My body is the same way it's been all the time. Really just feeling great, feeling blessed, feeling honored to get those carries, and that the coaching staff believe in me and make those plays, and it's just been an honor.